This is Theocracy Watch. No more blank check wars. Senator Bernie Sanders' No War Against Iran Act forces Congress, not the president, to authorize any military actions in the Swana region. Welcome back to Theocracy Watch, where we keep score on every power grab in Washington driven by ideological agendas. For decades, the United States has marched in conflicts across the Swana region under the banner of defense, yet each new skirmish only strengthens Israel's regional grip. Iran becomes the pretext. Israel is the real power broker, drawing us deeper into a proxy war that will leave American troops holding the bag long after the headlines fade. A late May Ipsos poll shows nearly 70% of Americans oppose any new action there without a formal war declaration. Further proof, voters want Congress to represent the people rather than the White House. We're still operating under 9/11 in Iraq authorizations for use of force that Congress never updated. And since then, those wars have sucked up over $8 trillion. Money that has not helped the American citizens, but it has lined the pockets of Lockheed, Raytheon, and other war profiteers. That's the whole point of Sanderson's No War Against Iran Act. It bars funding for strikes, airstrikes, or any other military operation unless Congress votes yes afterward, except responding to a direct attack on U.S. forces. No more backdoor campaigns, no more emergencies as cover. Meanwhile, back home, Trump and his allies have shown their contempt for those same service members. They've slashed VA funding, opening pathways to report employees for anti-Christian bias, stripped protections from single-parent vets and registered Democrats, and turned healthcare into a loyalty test. If they'll rip care away from veterans on American soil, do you really think that they'll hesitate to send them into harm's way abroad? Get real. Endless proxy fights don't just drain the treasury, they leave vets scarred. VA backlogs in crisis and opens the door for rivals like Russia and China to fill the void. Congress needs teeth, not just talking points. It's time for lawmakers to stand up, not only for constitutional checks and balances, like what they're supposed to do, but for the service people who continue to pay in blood while the swamp drools over the profit. Because treating war like a stage prop hollows out both our military and our democracy, opening the door for Trump's unchecked power. So stay curious. This has been Theocracy Watch.
It's not a surprise, is it? It's just, it continues. What are your thoughts, Dr. Troy?
It illustrates what I was talking about before. Like you think there's no more straws that could possibly, those are just extra straws that they just pile on the camel, and you got nothing to worry about. You can put as many straws. You can walk down Fifth Avenue and shoot somebody, put that straw on, and it's fine. Everything's fine.
There's layers to what's happening.
There are, and we could divert and talk about the things going on over in the Middle East a little bit if we can, because we just can't. Me and Ryan, we've discovered we both have ADD, and there's no way we're not going to be able to stay on topic. So we just kind of given up on it to embrace our life and not be miserable. Anyway, I'm gonna for a show of hands, anybody out there in the chat now, what you said is that they're going to do funds for they want to block funds for fighting against Iran unless the United States forces get attacked by Iran. Right now, can anybody show of hands in the chat imagine if would secretly attack like an American warship and pretend it was Iran? Would they do that? Oh, wait a second. They already have attacked American warships.
What? False flag?
I know. It's crazy stuff.
We've never participated in false flag operations on this soil or on other countries' land.
That's right.
Never.
That's right. That is crazy talk.
We sent, in the 80s, I remember, didn't Reagan send weapons to Iran? So
I hate Reagan.
Yeah. I mean, what's his name? Oliver North.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah, no.
Oliver North. He was arrested, tried, and convicted for selling weapons to Iran, and now he's on Fox News going, "We shouldn't be selling weapons to Iran."
Wowsies!
I'm just saying,
You guys, it's highly concerning watching our president yap and put stuff up on Truth Social and just run his mouth, and then all of a sudden, the last couple days, you see pictures of him, and he's like, "Oh shit." I gotta make it ooh, and it's a completely different. He's very serious and solemn. And he's like, "Oh, it's a war. It's a proxy war."
Yeah,
I have no
shit's
confidence.
getting real.
I have no confidence that this is going to end well. Not a shred of confidence.
No, I'm very worried.
Right. I think there's a lot of people who are pulling the strings in the background, and oftentimes I'm concerned with the fact that Trump may not really know what's going on. Not that he's incompetent. Ryan herself was pointing out how, I mean, we always like to pick on him how he's dumb, but we also have to think about he may be getting information filtered to him too. And Ryan showed us, she had a short where she showed us the Fox News. There's PBS during his speech at the press conference or at the parade, and they're like, Donald Trump, and you could hear crickets. There was no sound. Then the Fox News came up, and you could see the same thing on it, and there was cheering and all that. And Ryan was saying that Trump saw that and he's like, hey, wait a second. Is Fox misleading me on how many people were really? And, you know, if he's not really sure, it would make sense.
That's what happens in Russia, right? It's an echo chamber. Yeah. No, Putin. If you don't tell Putin what he wants to hear, you might not end up with a head. So I fear that might be happening here. You guys, truth matters. Reality matters. Reason matters. Science matters. Mm-hmm. Reality is important.
Well, I feel like we've been under attack with misinformation from literally the Russian government since about 2013 to 2015. Concerted, well-financed attack between trolls, bots, documented. Absolutely.
And it's conspiratorial. This is like actual, factual happened.
That's right. And they have worked with our right-wing political party on several occasions. We worked with political talking heads like Tim Pool, paid him money, not necessarily in order to change his position on anything, but just to keep him doing what he was doing, because he was actually, they were singing the same song, you know? Mm-hmm. So if we could get out from underneath, if Russia would fall, and the misinformation farms and the troll farms and the bot farms out there in Russia that are sitting here spreading all this misinformation were to collapse, that would be a good thing. And then if we were to enact laws in the United States, like I've harped on before, about misinformation, intentional misinformation in a political campaign should get the political candidate jail time. Not fines, because the rich man pays fines.
Jeez. Yeah, you know? I mean...
Because that's part of what got Donald. Not all of America is as dumb as we really like to joke and think they are. There was billions of dollars spent misinforming them about the reality of the circumstances, vilifying candidates and all this other business. So